Was Alexander the Great buried alive? 2,300 years ago. Alexander is 33 years old. In the past 13 years, he has conquered the Persians, the Egyptians, and just drastically changed the destiny of the whole classical world. Now that sounds like a lot for a 30-year-old, so what did he do to let out some steam? He partied, and then partied, and then partied again. In Babylon, which was the equivalent of partying in New York today. Anyway, he drank a little too much, and then to sober up, he drank some more. Next thing he knows, he's in bed with a crazy fever. In just a few days, he was supposed to launch this great mission to conquer Arabia with 1,000 ships. Needless to say that didn't happen. He can't talk and he can't move. As soon as he's pronounced dead, the battle over his body begins. It's hard to comprehend today, but at the time, having his body basically meant having legitimacy to power, so it was a very big deal. Eventually, they decide to mummify him, which was not part of his cultural tradition. They go in to mummify him after 6 days since he passed, just to find that there's no sign of decay whatsoever. And mind you, it was summer and it was hot. Of course, at the time, we didn't have the scientific and medical knowledge that we have today, so this was taken as a clear sign of Alexander's divine quality. And considering his whole life was a gigantic marketing campaign to present himself as a god, this lined up nicely. But today, recent scientific theories actually suggest that Alexander might have accidentally been buried alive. Some scientists believe that he might have suffered from a rare neurological condition called, and I apologize for butchering this, Guillain-Barré syndrome. This condition can cause temporary paralysis, but here's the kicker, the mind remains fully aware. Just imagine being trapped in your own body, unable to move or communicate. That's terrifying. And could it be that he was still alive but paralyzed when they laid him to rest? This theory is also supported by the fact that in the ancient world, they wouldn't check for a pulse, they would check for breath. And it can be that in his condition, breath was not detectable. The icing on the cake, the tomb of Alexander the Great, its immense historical legacy. His final resting place remains to this day a mystery. Nobody knows where it is. Some say he was buried in Egypt, others claim that he rests in Macedonia. Nobody knows. Alexander was such a legendary figure who played a fundamental role in classical history, and I think this mystery makes him all the more intriguing.